I just Googled Etheridge for news results. I want to tell you what I see. It's about 11 p.m. on June the 14th. This is the day that the video went viral, and I'm Googling Etheridge. The Washington Post is criticizing him. The Huffington Post is defending him. ABC News is talking about Obama, talking about the oil spill, talking about Etheridge. Yeah, I'm not kidding. There's an ABC News story about Obama's opinion on the oil spill that's at the top of Google News results for Bob Etheridge. CNN is not here. MSNBC is not here. Fox is not here. Where are the news outlets? There are pundits defending this guy. There are pundits criticizing this guy. There's no news. NPR's not talking about it. CNN's not talking about it. Shouldn't this be breaking news? When there were allegations that prior to the Obamacare package final vote, some Tea Party racketeers may have potentially said racist things to Democratic congressmen when they were on their way to vote, though no evidence for this was ever found, I saw it on CNN for 2 weeks. I turned on the news every day and there it was. Because a Tea Partier might have threatened or said racially provocative things to a Democratic congressman with regard to the health care vote. Now we have unequivocal proof that a Democratic congressman has physically assaulted and threatened and otherwise intimidated innocent civilians, all because they questioned his allegiance to the Obama agenda. And CNN doesn't have anything to say. MSNBC doesn't have anything to say. Fox doesn't have anything to say. Why not? Why isn't this news? This is a congressman, a United States congressman, not a local congressman, a United States congressman. And all I'm seeing is that he's sorry, and that the Washington Post is mad, and the Huffington Post is mad at the Washington Post for being mad. And you know what the worst part is? Since this guy's a representative, not a senator, he's up for re-election in 2010. Now, he's from a district. I'm actually next to this district, so I know these things. He's from a district that is potentially a swing district. It has gone Republican for the presidential election, and it has gone Democratic for the presidential election. And Etheridge himself has a history of popularity in this district, but what with the Tea Party movement, and what with this going on, it's not out of the question that he might get thrown out in 2010. But here's the problem. His opponent is a neocon, a theocrat, a hardline Republican idiot. She wants the government to be involved in everything, regulating your morals, your perspectives. Her name is Renee Elmers. She's trying to publicize this, and you know what? I don't care, because Renee Elmers shares Bob Etheridge's perspective on the use of force. She just hasn't happened to get angry enough yet to take that out on the street. But she doesn't disagree with the idea that you can assault people for thinking differently than you, that you can assault people for standing in the sidewalk where you'd like to walk and asking you questions. Fundamentally, she doesn't disagree at all. The 2nd District had a candidate who did disagree. His name was Frank Dietrich, and I met him in person once. I actually conducted a one-on-one interview with him, and I'm going to let you see that interview, because I think it matters. Because I'm not happy that we had a candidate who was fundamentally opposed to the needless use of force, the needless initiation of aggression against innocent people, and we let him get away. And now the 2nd District is all in a huff because they found out that Bob Etheridge is a jackass. But here's the thing. This is par for the course for these jackasses. This is nothing new. This is not a surprise to people like me that study philosophy and the motivations of politicians and voters. And it's not going to be any different if his opponent wins. It only would have been different if Dietrich had won. But Dietrich lost in the primaries to a neocon idiot who will use force to control you just as much as Etheridge always has, but will do it with a slightly different flavor. She hasn't gotten angry yet, so she hasn't burst out on the street. But she still believes in force. You better believe it. This is what it's all about, folks. This is what it is all about. These congressmen are horrible people. I've been telling you for years, stop being surprised when congressmen cheat on their wives, when congressmen injure civilians in the street, when they lie, when they perjure themselves. Politicians are terrible people. Because when your whole job is centered around using force and aggression to control people who have never done anything to you, you are a terrible person. And to be surprised at this point when politicians do these awful things is like if a guy came into your house with a gun and took all your money and shot your wife, and then on the way out he kicked your cat, and you said, "Wow, I can't believe you would kick a cat." Of course he would. Of course he would kick that cat. Of course he would assault that student on the street. Of course he would take that student's camera and yell at that student. Because he would take trillions of dollars from innocent people that have never done anything to him. He would support an aggressive war of intervention overseas. He would support sending our troops to die and to kill innocent civilians against a ghost threat. He would support imprisonment as a penalty for injecting a substance into one's body in a way that harms no one else. Of course, he would manhandle a student on the street. Because he is an evil, despicable, corrupt person who has no sense of morals, no ethics.